There are three characters in Kingdom Hearts that no one thinks about. Among the members of Organization 13, there was bound to be a few seat fillers, and these three barely kept the seat warm before they were cast aside and forgotten. Alias, Dylan, and most importantly, Zexion. Zexion has my favorite design of all the characters in Organization 13, but he really doesn't get any respect. To understand this tragedy, we must go back, far back, to the ancient times. 1993, Radiant Garden. There was a young orphan boy lost on the streets. He had no one and nothing. He was lost, forgotten. But a wise old man found him, Ansem the Wise, a kind-hearted scientist who wanted to understand the magic of the human heart. He raised this boy as his own. Ienzo was very intelligent and seemed to be the perfect apprentice, understanding the complex nature of data worlds and Heartless and the hearts themselves. He studied hard, all for the approval of his new home, the Radiant Garden Heart Research Lab. There weren't many people in his new family. A strange man named Evan, who understood data better than anyone, but always seemed very cold. A strict guard named Dylan, who would put down his life for others, but always followed orders exactly to the letter. And a strong protector named Alias, that seemed to always be by his side. For a while, it was just the five of them. A nerd, two jocks, a wise old dad, and a smart kid. But that didn't last long. Not soon after, two new men joined the lab. A mysterious, aloof stranger named Braig, and an amnesiac named Xehanort. When they arrived, things changed. Despite Ansem telling them to stop researching the heart any further, Ansem the Wise soon disappeared, creating a hidden lab below the castle, torturing and experimenting on innocent people, trying to uncover the secrets of darkness. It's not clear what went on in the lab, but it wasn't good. It would be an amazing movie, or even a game one day. But nevertheless, Xehanort was in charge now, and everyone stayed in line. They even got two more recruits to join. This group was starting to become a cult. Lee and Isa joined, and on that fateful night, Xehanort stabbed everyone. Dylan tried to protect them, but he was stabbed first. They all went down, one after another. Braig even realized that Xehanort could remember everything now. Suddenly, they were nowhere. They were nothing, trapped in a world of purgatory, a world that never was. A city filled with the husks of lost souls. But they were strong. Their wills overcame their pain, and they were reborn. Each of them was given a title and a throne in the room where nothing gathers. They each commanded an army of dusks and various monsters. They were all now Hot Topic men. They got cool X's in their name, and Zexion grew up. He had incredibly long bangs that covered his eyes, and he looked like me in high school. And he read books, and he was super cool. For the next few years, they began to study the heart further, to control and tame the monsters that were like them, until they each had an army of their own. After a few years, they had a plan. Use a Keyblade wielder to kill the Heartless and make an artificial Kingdom Hearts. A heart-shaped moon with vague powers that their leaders say would make them all feel again. They were all so deep in the cult, none of them could tell that they were being brainwashed. Everything they were told was a lie. They weren't going to feel again. Their hearts were cut out by a madman, and they believed that he could bring their heart back. Dylan had grown cold and devoid of all love. Vexen became even more maniacal and more insane, becoming a full-on mad scientist. But at least Lexius was standing by his side. The two of them had an important mission, to weed out the traitors in Castle Oblivion. There were many possibilities. Cyax was always up to something. Vexen only cared about science. But the new members Larxene and Marluxia could never really follow orders. Zexion wasn't really sure who it could have been. It might have been all of them. But there was a new candidate in the castle, someone with a Keyblade. The organization might actually be able to control this person and use them. But little did they know, Riku was far too strong. He was off balance, yeah, and he was struggling with his own identity, but he was way more powerful than they thought. As Riku explored the rooms of Castle Oblivion's basement, Zexion tried to slow him down. He tried to understand him, to control him. He even sent Lexius to stand in his way, but Riku killed him in cold blood. He struck him down. He was still fighting himself, but he managed to defeat him. Zexion tried everything. He even tried to get in Riku's head, to confront him about his past, and make him relive his worst memories. But it didn't work. It only helped Riku discover himself more. Riku accepted the power that he was fighting against. He claimed that part of himself that he hated, and he used it to defeat Zexion, to fight through his illusions. Zexion was shocked and confused. This was all he ever knew, and he was all alone again. He looked up to see Axel. Dylan never trusted Axel, not since he snuck into the castle when he was a kid. Axel was always shady, but this time was different. He had a crazy look in his eye. And before Zexion could stop him, while he was at his weakest, Axel killed him. He was gone. His whole life sacrificed for this cult. Then he woke up. He could feel again. He could remember how he died, how wrong he was this whole time. His cult programming was shattered, so he decided to fight back, to use his knowledge of the labs and their computers to turn the tide. He brought Roxas back to life. He helped build Naminé a new body, and he's currently trying to figure out a way to bring Sora back from the dead. Zexion always felt like a wasted opportunity. Like he and the two big buff guys didn't get a lot of screen time. He was an incredible antagonist in Chain of Memories, but you only see him in a hidden, secret, optional mode. Out of this forgotten trio of Ienzo, Alias, and Dylan, Dylan at least got to be the most annoying asshole in Kingdom Hearts 2. But Zexion only really served as a loose thread, a character that Nomura could use for exposition in Kingdom Hearts 3. There's so much we haven't seen in the history of Kingdom Hearts. There are 8 years where Zexion is basically raised by a cult, where Dylan goes from a guy who would fight a monster to protect a stranger, to a man who used the rose from Beauty and the Beast to explain how love is a useless weapon that doesn't matter. Riku literally murdered Lexaeus, and nobody talks about it. Why do these 3 guys seem to fall through the cracks? This poor forgotten trio. Anyway, I'm Aloney the Bard, and that's what I know about them. Thanks for listening. Bye. I recently realized how close we are to the end of all these videos, so I'm going to make an announcement. In 13 weeks, June 1st, 2024, I'm going to be streaming all of Kingdom Hearts Critical Mode every day until I beat it. I did it last year, and I think this might be a good time. Streaming has been really hard for me lately, and I thought it would be way more fun to sort of plan like a event rather than just doing it every single day. After the streams are done, after these videos are done, I don't know how many more Kingdom Hearts videos there's going to be. I'd love to see what people's ideas are for other things I can talk about other than Kingdom Hearts that they'd be interested in watching. But until I go on my big grand adventure to beat all of Kingdom Hearts, there are 13 videos until then. So I really need to justify why I waste my time streaming. You know, I've streamed so much that I'm going on a hiatus soon. So I hope people watch me try to survive, because I'm playing all of Kingdom Hearts Critical Mode this summer. Anyway, check out this old video. It's about Vexen's perspective of this entire thing. I made it a long time ago. It's pretty good. Bye.